Yeah, so today's topic, fatherhood through change, supporting ourselves and children. So I just want to tell you a little bit about myself. My name is Bobby Paul. I'm a breakup and divorce coach practitioner, and I put in brackets there, soon to be master practitioner. So what that means is that I will be able to take on clients that are suffering from domestic abuse. Now, obviously, that's an area not for the faint-hearted, but I've just been so pleased and privileged to be on that course. So I'm very, very soon to complete my master practitioner. So really, really pleased to say that. So my coaching work, I support people through separation, breakup, relationship issues, and really major transitions. So it's really about getting their clarity back so that they can move forward positively. If you think about it, people who are going through breakup and divorce, as you all know yourselves, it's a very stressful time. There's a lot of anxiety and overwhelm. So if you're going through the court system, how can you make informed decisions when you've got no clarity? So, clarity is the real key thing in order for you to make informed decisions. So that's what I help people do. So I work alongside solicitors and lawyers so that I can bring clarity to the client so they're able to make those better informed decisions. So I'm the holistic approach, and the solicitors and lawyers are obviously the process itself. So we work alongside each other quite well. So my coaching work, everything is based around this thing called the six main pillars or concepts. So these concepts, the first one is holding the remote control to your brain. Now, everybody has a remote control to their brain. It's just that you don't know how to use it. And I help clients unlock that. Now, once you control those emotions and that remote control to your brain, you can then effectively dial down your negative emotions. And that also works the other way. You can dial up your positive emotions as well. So that's the first two concepts. And then the next four concepts I'll talk about, these are called thriving and surviving. So that's where you gain clarity or getting clarity, you take responsibility, you shift focus, and you move forward positively. And obviously, it's getting clarity as well. So this is what my practice is around. It's around those six pillars. Now, all of those six pillars, they contain a lot of tools, techniques, and strategies that I use. And every single one of these, the importance of it is they are all lifelong skills, which are transferable, and these can be transferred to your children as well. So, that's really, really important around my practice and why this topic matters to me. So obviously, I've also been in the same place where everybody else has been. I went through quite a very, very difficult divorce. My child was only one at the time, and that was many, many years ago. But it was a very difficult relationship to go through over 5 years. And there was actually one point when it became so difficult, my health had suffered to such a point where I was hospitalized. So, that was Bell's palsy, where I had paralysis on one side of my face. So that was the real turning point for me because my health began to suffer. And as we all know, in the Asian community, it's all about the taboo subject, right? What are other people going to think? It's about shame, etc. So, once you remove that shame away about thinking about your separation, then you take control, right? You take responsibility, which comes into part of the pillars that I talked about earlier. So, and once my health suffered, I thought, that's it. I need to look after myself. And looking after yourself is very, very important. And I've got a lot of messages throughout today's conversation about putting yourselves first. So this is why this topic matters so much to me. I've now dedicated my life to helping others. I was in a corporate role in IT for over 28 years. But throughout that whole time, I was helping lots of friends, lots of family. I mean, we're talking family members and friends who were on the brink of suicide because of the pressure in their marriage. And I was able to bring them out of that space and get them clarity again. So the pattern I started to see was everyone was saying to me, "My God, Bobby, when we talk to you, we feel so good. You make us feel so good. Why don't you go into coaching?" So for many years, I've been thinking, okay, I want to do coaching, but I just had no time in my corporate environment. So why this topic matters to me, I was made redundant a couple of years ago, and it gave me a real great opportunity to pick up on all of that theory, all of that coaching that I was studying and get qualified. So now I have dedicated myself to helping others in life, and that's why I am here today. So, any questions there about anything that I have said? Okay, so that's me. Let me. Oh, the screen has stuck again. Okay, here we go. Hopefully everyone can see this. So I just wanted to mention this, that look, tonight, you know, it's not about having all of the answers, right? It's about creating a safe space, right? That's why we're here today. We're all here to reflect. We're all here to share experiences and support each other. And it's really key for me, doing what I do, you've got to be a very, very naturally empathetic person. And I'm so looking forward to talking to you guys, to listening to your story, and seeing where we can support one another, right? So you're not alone in any of these challenges that we face as parents. We're all in it together. So let me just move on to the next area. So I've called this Father's Day through the eyes of a parent, obviously because Father's Day is approaching, right? So I've got three simple points that I wanted to make here. The first one is it's okay to have mixed emotions, right? Honestly, it really, really is okay to have those mixed emotions. Now, some parents that, they look forward to Father's Day, right? Of course they would. Why wouldn't you? But others, now, when I mean others, this includes mothers as well. So mothers and fathers are going to be affected, on Father's Day because the child will be either on the other side, then the mother may be alone by herself, or the father may not see their children on Father's Day, right? So what you see on the right side here, sadness, loneliness, grief, disappointment and anxiety. You may feel these, you may feel one of these, you may feel all of them, but it's okay to have those mixed emotions, right? And I cannot emphasize that enough. Now, I just want to talk about two of those. So all of these emotions, they're fully valid. So the one in the middle you see, which is grief, right? Uh, Divorce is the second most traumatic experience of your life, next to moving a loved one, next to losing a loved one. And that's really, really important. So, and that's why we feel, all of these emotions. And I just want to say one thing, if you're in this position, it's absolutely not your fault that you are here, right? And trust me when I say this, you will get through this. I know that because I've got through it, all right? And I know that you will get through it. And that's why I'm here on the other side. And the other key takeaway from this, right, is, it's a life transition, not a failure. So, and, you know, nothing is permanent in life. You've got to remember that nothing is permanent in life. Life is like a continuous river. We're never at that same point in time. So it's always continually moving. And I promise you, you will get through this period. Now, where you see disappointment, I put that in a slightly bigger circle. Now, the reason why I've put disappointment in there, and I will talk from, experience, and you may experience this yourselves, where you get that disappointment where you don't end up meeting your child on Father's Day. Now, the typical thing is that I experienced was, I would be almost there, then I get an SMS message and saying, look, oh, sorry, not available, etc. So what do you do with that? You get a disappointment right at the last second. Now, the best advice I can give you there is, you just have to reply back and just say, thank you very much for letting me know. That's the best way to deal with that disappointment. Now, my remedy behind that, now I'm speaking from my experience, I used to do self-care. I would go to the gym. Once I got disappointed, I would go to the gym because self-care is so important. And that made a huge difference to my life. I cannot emphasize that enough. Um, and then the other thing, what I want to say about all of this is keep your expectations at rock bottom, right? Now, what I mean by that is your expectations need to be as low as possible. Now, the reason behind that is that way you will never be disappointed if something happened, and anything else that comes up will be a bonus. Okay, so there's a few hints I just wanted to give you there about the mixed emotions that you may be feeling now or in the future. So just moving on to point number two, separation does not end parenthood, and it's so important. It's probably one of the most important messages I've got here for everyone. The end of your relationship does not mean that it's the end of your value as a parent, right? Now, the key thing here is that children see us as their role model, right? It's so important to understand that children see us as their role model. Now, children remember a number of things, right? When they're with their parents, it's connection, it's presence, it's consistency, and it's love. If you can get any of those in place as much as you can, because you can only do your best, then you're in a great place and you're doing very, very well. And it's not about perfection. Every parent thinks, oh, I've got to be perfect in circumstances and situations like this, but you don't have to have that perfection at all, right? So, and there's an example I can tell you about where children see us as their role models. I don't know whether any of you have had any experience with any CAFCAS officers, right? The child welfare, etc. So mostly, if you're going through court system, you will experience a CAFCAS officer. I was one of the very few that had a great experience with my CAFCAS officer. What he told me was the best advice that I've ever had throughout the whole court system, and that was, he said to me, Bobby, whatever you do, when you have your child on your weekends, do not ever, ever badmouth the other parent, right? And trust me when I say that. And I took that on board, right? Every time my child was with me on all those weekends, nothing was said. We just enjoyed our time. Now, when my child turned about 12 or 13, actually said to me, he said, "Oh, you know what, Papa? There's one thing I noticed. You never ever say a bad word about mum." Um, and that's when it really hit me, you know, and the advice of the CAFCAS officer came through, even though it took 12, 13 years, but it's really, really key. So, and that's the point I want to make. Children do see us as their role models. Okay. So just moving on to my third point here. So look after yourself too, right? Parents spend so much time and energy looking after their children, but what we do is we forget about ourselves, right? This is one of my favorite things that I love to say. You cannot pour from an empty cup. If you're feeling down and drawn and ill health because you're not looking after yourself, the kids will see that. The kids will pick up on that. So self-care is not selfish. It's a really, really good thing that you need to take on board, right? And it does always help us become better parents. And your kids will see that, see that, oh, mum, dad are super healthy, super fit, they're looking great. The kids will see that. So it's really, really important. And that's a big message here that you've got to look after yourself. Now, are there any questions from anybody so far? All good? All right. Okay. So I'm coming on to my favorite part here of any call, and that's the group introductions.